Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, and welcome to the second episode of Faction Wars. Faction Wars is a term coined as of now for the series in which two factions go head-to-head in huge multiplayer battles. So, if you're wondering what the first episode of Faction Wars was, that was the 3v3 Warriors of Chaos versus Wood Elves. Faction Wars, in a nutshell, is where two factions go at it in more than 1v1 battles. So you've got 2v2s, 3v3s, where all players on one given team are going to be playing the same faction. So, as I said, the first one, Warriors of Chaos versus Wood Elves. 3 Warriors of Chaos players versus 3 Wood Elf players. And in this super exciting episode, we're going to have 3 Dwarven players versus 3 Chaos players. Now, this is an insane battle. This is honestly the most ridiculous battle I've had or seen. How close this comes in the end is just absolutely insane. And you will see for yourself, so strap yourself to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, and get ready for a wild ride, because this is a good one. Alright, so getting into this is myself, Elivaras, along with members of the Discord. So I believe on my team it's myself, it's Con Lao, and it's Hound versus Mr. Lucky, Goldfish, and one other player. Why am I forgetting his name now? I remembered it before, and now I'm just suddenly forgetting it. So, okay, yeah. Well, I'll tell it to you guys after if I remember, and we'll see it at the end screen. So, the action gets started really quickly in this battle, so I'm going to have to just pause it here because, yeah, it gets started really quickly. We're going to go into the comps. We are doing this on medium funds, so rather than large funds, well, the problem with large funds is that, first of all, there's lots of units on the field, especially in a 3v3, going to crash some computers. And second of all, it allows you to actually rely on your teammates more. So you'll see, like, for example, if it's a 2v2, you'll have one person with the front line and the second person with the cav and the archers, or the skirmishers, for example, rather than just 2 big blobs fighting at 2 different places on the map. So you actually rely on your allies a lot more, and it brings a lot more fun and coordination to the game. So this Dwarvish army here, I'm not going to go into specific builds, but we have some Thunderers out in front. We've got Miners of the Blasting Charges. We've got Norgrimlings, Ironbreakers. And then the second line here, we have 6 units of Dwarf Warriors, unit of Ironbreakers, the Goblobber, a Runesmith, a Grombrindle, the White Dwarf. We got the Grumbling Guard here. We got the Peak Gate Guard. We got the Dragonback Slayers. So let's just do zoom-ins real quick of these units. They are quite cool. We got the red and golden armor of the Norgrimlings Ironbreakers Regiment of Renown. We got the green and gold armor of the Grumbling Guard Regiment of Renown. We have the blue and gold armor of the Peak Gate Guard Regiment of Renown. And then we got the green and gold axes and emeralds and such of the Dragonback Slayers. They're going to be useful for tying down their large units. We thought they were going to bring a lot more cav. That's why we also have those guys and then 2 more units of Slayers in the back here. But they ended up bringing no cav at all, and their strategy completely took us off guard. So yeah, we do have the Goblobber there. Definitely catapults looking pretty cool, encrusted with some valuable gems. We have in the back Belagar Iron Hammer. We've got some Longbeards. We've got some Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I already went over the Ironbreakers there. And then for my lord, I've got Thorgrim Grudgebearer and a Runesmith. So that's going to cover the Dwarf comp. And now for Chaos. 3 units of Chaos Marauders with great weapons, 2 units of Aspiring Champions, 3 units of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Sarthoriel the Everwatcher as one of the lords. We have Chaos Warriors with great weapons, then we have 2 units of Chosen with great weapons. We got 3 units of Chaos Marauders, or 4 units of Chaos Marauders with great weapons. We have 2 units of Aspiring Champions back here, and then we get 2 units of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, 2 lords on 2-headed wyvern things, don't exactly know what they're called. And then this is what surprised us, which we shouldn't have been surprised about, but we completely overlooked this. They have 5 hell cannons. This we did not expect, and you will see the hell cannons absolutely tear through our line. So we did not expect this, but you can see the clump that our soldiers are currently in, and you will see these hell cannons start to tear us apart. We're going to see the opening shots here. I do apologize in advance for some of the lag, because it is quite a huge battle. Start to get not as laggy once, once units start to die. But we do see the Hell Cannon shots coming in, absolutely tearing into these dwarves, just blowing them back. Tearing into these Thunderers and Miners. We got a third shot coming in, so there's 5 of them. So we're going to be 5 shots each. Not much ammunition for the 5 Hell Cannons combined, but going to absolutely shred our lines. Another Hell Cannon shot coming in here. Looks like it's going to go over the heads and potentially tear into the Peak Gate Guard in the back here. This poor Regiment Renown, all these poor dwarves just dead before they can even get into conflict. Looks like they only lost 2, I think? Yeah, 2. But they did lose a decent amount of health there. So not the most heavy of blows, but definitely decimated a bit of our front line. And that's only 1 shot each. The amount of ammunition these guys have, especially with 5, is going to be absolutely insane. More Hell Cannon shots coming in there. This is going to be a big one here. Just blowing away these Door Grimlings, Iron Breakers, and a lot of the Dwarf Warriors we got here. We just have more and more shots pouring in here. This one's going to be a bad one, too. Decimating these Miners and Dwarf Warriors that are all clumped. We're just... when we saw these Hell Cannons in our Discord chat, my team was just like, run! Get out of here! Guys, what are we going to do? And one of our players was like, we should give up. It's over already. They've screwed us. And we're just like, no, we're going to keep fighting. But yeah, we were absolutely freaking out when this happened. We were just like, get behind the hill, get behind the hill. Because then they would start to, actually hit the hill and not hit us. But this big clump that we were retreating in ended up being pretty good for them. We can see Lucky here starting to pull up his army. He's going to start setting up on the ridge. And I'm going to go into I'm going to attempt to go to double time here. I am getting quite a bit of lag with all the stuff going on in the field. Can see the Hell Cannon shots coming in here. Lucky does start to bring all his troops up. He's going to bring them up on this ridge. Interestingly enough, they're actually going to bring some of their Hell Cannons up to this ridge. See, armors are starting to move in position. Getting a good amount of less lag there. Frames are coming back, so we're going to double time this. As things get into position, we do see more Hell Cannon shots coming to tear into our lines. But now, they start to just hit the hill, which is very, very good for us. But as only one player is, as they start to finish moving their troops into position here, they start having time to manually aim their Hell Cannons. And this is where things go really downhill. And you will see this for the next few shots. Not yet, but I believe they're going to move their Hell Cannons a little bit forward, and then you're going to see some manually aimed shots that are just going to tear us apart. You can see that one goes over our head, goes way over, but then the next one shot by that one is going to be a really good one. He overshot a bit in the first one. No, never mind. You can see now they're starting to manually aim, and this one's going to come over the heads and is going to land right into these Slayers, decimating a few of them. Now we have a shot coming in. This one's going to be well aimed and absolutely hammer this unit of Grumbling Guard, which is not what we want. We do not want the Grumbling Guard to all be getting destroyed, because they're going to be really helping keeping troops fresh. So yeah, we don't want them destroyed, but we are going to see a second shot here that's absolutely going to hammer the Grumbling Guard. Now they're down to half health. They've lost 16 units already. They're down to half health, and their Hell Cannons are still 3/4 ammunition, or even more than that. See, their Chaos Lord does actually come in here, and we start to chase him off. Oh, no, that's, yeah, Chaos Lord. And we start to chase him off. He does get away despite the slow on the Dragonback Slayers. More Hell Cannon shots coming in. And at this point, after they start manually aiming, we're like, okay, guys, this is really bad for us. We're going to need to start forming up and charging soon, or else we're not going to make it through this battle. They're just going to hammer us with artillery the whole match, and we're going to get destroyed. We need to wait for recover some frames here. We can see the Hell Cannons are being pulled up onto the ridge. Another devastating shot going to pour in here. Absolutely decimate. Take out these Dwarf Warriors from full health. Bring them down to like 66%. 2/3. And now as we attempt to move it into double speed with the frames, we see hell cannons are being moved up here. And this is when I'm like, all right, guys, let's charge. We can't keep getting hit by these hell cannons. We just gotta charge in. Norgrimling's Iron Breakers absolutely getting torn apart. They start to pull back, give their hell cannons some more time to fire, and get these hell cannons into position on the ridge. We do see some blasting charges pouring in. They're pulling back their Chosen, because they don't want them engaging in the front line first. And they're pulling in their Chaos Marauders with great weapons. And we are going to get a close-up of this charge, because this is going to be crazy. Dwarfs pouring in here. I'll actually probably start from this side, because this is where they're getting closer. See the miners coming in here, connecting with the Chaos Marauders. Dwarf Warriors pouring in, getting ready to leap into the fray. It looks like they're just... Actually, these guys are just running through each other. You can see Dwarf Warriors getting chopped down here as the two armies collide. Looks like move orders were made and not attack orders, so there wasn't much of a charge on either side. We can see a huge front line forming now, and now Mr. Lucky starts to get his forces in position, and they've got a huge clump over here. Hell cannons are still firing into the mix, but now they're going to make a few mistakes and start firing into their own troops as they aim towards us. See my miners, the blasting charges pouring in here, trying to just do as much damage as they can before they get engaged on. More blasting charges coming in here. Hell cannon shot down, hitting a lot of the regiments of renown there. And we can see that Mr. Lucky starts to pour in his Chaos Marauders on the side here. They start to chase after these Thunderers who are desperately running away. And then I have my Dwarf Warriors with great weapons being absolutely torn apart by these Chaos Marauders, especially after taking a lot of early damage with those Hell Cannons. So an absolute crap fest for our team. And this battle is definitely underway. We can see the Hell Cannons in the back. Getting quite a bit of lag here. We need to wait for things to calm down a bit. But now we can see, here, if we go into slow motion here, we can see Aspiring Champions are starting to break and rout here. Chaos Marauders with great weapons, taking a brawl out with these Dwarf Warriors, but because there are quite a bit, we got the Runesmith in support there. Blasting charges coming down. Their center starts to fall. You see morale is falling here for these units, and they start to break. So we're winning the center fight. We see another Hell Cannon blast coming in. Going to hit our back line. Here, do a little bit of damage. There wasn't many Dwarfs there, but it's still going to do good damage. We have some Slayers engaging these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Great weapons a little bit being wasted on these Slayers because Slayers don't have armor, but they're still going to tear through them either way. I don't believe Slayers have armor piercing, as far as I'm aware. No, they do not. They have anti-large, but not armor piercing. And now we see Chaos Warriors, Sartorial, coming into the fight here. And now we do see Hell Cannon hitting Sartorial in the back. Wasted shot there. And the battle is truly underway now. Hell Cannon shot coming into the mix here. Hitting not much there. And I see a opportunity here to flank around their line, and I come here to tear into this Hell Cannon and try and get it to stop firing. We do see Chaos Lord engages on our Goblobber crew in the back here, and we do see some Dwarves starting to rout on our left flank. Dwarf Warriors with great weapons routing, Thunderers routing as well, as another Hell Cannon shot actually flies way over. Hits nothing there. But we do see some Chaos routing. We've basically won in the center now. But especially on our right flank, there's a fierce melee. We've got Norgrimling's Iron Breakers, the Grumbling Guard, and the Peak Gate Guard, 3 regiments renowned. If they got the Hell Cannons to fire here, that would be so bad for us. We'd lose all 3 of our regiments. But we have 3 regiments renowned back to back. Guard just slamming into the back of this Chaos Warrior and destroying him. These regiments renowned doing so much work here. You can see he's trying to come in for a swing, but he just gets mauled by that Peak Gate Guard. Doing a lot of damage there. We do see they are getting hit by a spell. Transmutation of lead for minus weapon damage and minus attack. Definitely not what we want to see at this point in the battle. We can see my lord, Grombrindle, and I believe Belagar are all at full health still. Runesmith's also at full health. My Runesmith's at full health. So our heroes are still doing quite well, but you can see the bounce bar is definitely not in our favor as they start to just absolutely destroy our forces on our left flank. Now, we can see over here, I do get these Dwarf Warriors into this Hell Cannon in the back line. Definitely a cool design in the Hell Cannon. Got some organs, you know, charging it, whatever they're drawing energy from. And we can see that they're starting to just chop through this Hell Cannon crew. He chops through them, and he's just like, huh? Just looks down. These Chaos Dwarves. Disgrace to the Dawi. Leaping into the fray there. Another around the back chop. Gonna bring this Hell Cannon crew member down. And then they start to realize, they will start to realize soon, and you're gonna see that they're gonna bring their Chaos Lord back. Right now he's brawling with Thorgrim. He starts to pull out, and he notices this, so he starts to bring him towards my main unit of Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and he also brings over some of his Redded units to make sure I cannot finish off this Hell Cannon. Very unfortunate. They do have 2 Hell Cannons in the back here, but we cannot get to them. We just don't have the fast enough units, and you can see 1 Hell Cannon shot just finishes off this unit of Dwarf Warriors. 2 more Hell Cannon shots coming, just absolutely obliterating our lines. And it's starting to look a little grim here as our lines start to rout. We do have a Rune of Rathanun coming on. These Chaos Warriors that were at very high health. Or Hell Cannon shots just decimating our lines. And yeah, things are looking pretty grim. There's routing all across our line. They're starting to... but we are... One good thing is that because our regiments are down here, we are... starting to push them back on our left flank. So Arthuriel's here, and we're just like, okay, Goon Squad, kill him. Just kill him. Hopefully we can cause some chaos to rout here. So we do have a melee with Sartorial. Sartorial then goes down. A huge victory for us. Hell Cannon, though, fires right into the mix and hits some of our lords and such. So we do bring 1 lord down. Thorgrim has taken a lot of damage. You can see all the just bodies littering the ground here. Thorgrim going at it with these remaining aspiring champions and chaos chosen with great weapons. Definitely did quite a bit of damage to poor Thorgrim here. You can see more chosen with great weapons running down the hill as they rout. So we do just about take a victory in the center. We do see a Hell Cannon blast. This is not going to be good for Thorgrim here, as he's probably going to take... Looks like he's going to take it to the face. Oh, yeah, he takes a good hit there, although it doesn't do much damage, which is good. Blows away his own aspiring champions, doing some good damage to them. So thank you for that, Mr. Lucky, for shooting that Hell Cannon there. We do see these chosen with great warriors with great weapons running some of our dwarves off the field. The numbers have dwindled quite a bit. We are at 400 units, dropping quickly. Enemy troop counts at 600. They have 2 lords left. Thankfully, one of them is actually low health. He's going to pour in here, try and get some fear on these Dwarf Warriors. Although our Slayers are in here as well, which is going to do great work to this Chaos Lord. He's at 244 health, 193, 57, and he is routing, and then he goes down. So that's the second of their lords down. All of our lords are still alive. I do have the Runesmith. My lord's going quite on low health, though. These Hell Cannons just tore apart this unit of Ironbreakers, and they're probably going to be done for now. Hell Cannons just firing. I think they were trying to focus my leader with their Hell Cannons. An interesting strategy. And we can see, really the only big battle left on this map right now is on the left flank, where these 3 Dwarven regiments of renown still stand at a low health, all of them, but they are still going to fight to the last man with that high leadership that they seem to have. They just will not go down. And they're just going to fight it out to the end here. Let's get some shots in the epicness. We can see a PK guard bringing his hammer down. Chaos Warrior reeling back. We see a chop coming in here. Gremlin Guard is not phased. PK Guard readying himself. Aspiring Champion's duking it out. We do see a huge hit here, downing like 5 guys. Whatever happened there. Maybe it was a Hell Cannon shot I missed. Can see some more dwarves going down. Not good for these regiments of renown. See just a normal dwarf warrior here. Another one going down. Chop from the aspiring champion, knocking him back there. We do see an aspiring champion getting floored by Belagar Ironhammer, who is in here, definitely going to be very useful in this fray. And you can see we have another lord here, Grombrindle, in the fray as well. And I am trying to bring Thorgrim over to reinforce. See if we can get a few more cool shots in here of some fights. See one of PK Gar getting taken out there. PK Gar coming around with the mighty swing. The aspiring champion is not phased by that one. And he does get killed by a Chaos Warrior coming in here with a ferocious chop. You can see this Norgrimling's Ironbreaker's coming in, just swinging down and reeling back this aspiring champion. Leaping into the fight with a vicious kick. Looking to finish them off, but now he looks like he's caught out. Aspiring champions and Chaos Warriors, fearsome looking, staring him down as a twirl around the side. And it is going to chop that Norgrimling Ironbreaker into. Rune of Negation being popped. More PK Guard just falling. We're not taking this engagement very well. Our Regiments of Renown are falling fast. More Hellcannons still firing. Looks like they are firing at my lord. We do have some Dwarves in the back line now, wrapping up these Hellcannon crew. And looks like my miners with blast charges have finally run out of ammo, even though they're just standing here. We do see these Thunderers unloading on this Hellcannon crew here, this group of Wavering Thunderers. Trying to bring Thorgrim into this mess here. We can see Regiments of Renown are all routing as Hellcannons fire into them. And there are the Regiments of Renown. Now most of our army is just consisting of our Dwarvish leaders. We can see we have Thorgrim charging into the mix. We got Belagar. We got Grom. Where is Grombrindle? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay, we got Runesmith coming in. My Runesmith here. Buffing up, just trying to take out this little chunk here. And now our units will not be fresh anymore, as the Grumbling Guard have routed a massive Hellcannon blast, destroying a lot of his own units and going to rout them. So definitely a bit of an issue that they're just firing into the middle of their own units. Still have some ammo left, especially these ones on the side that we're going to need to kill. And then there is a mass rout in the Chaos side. Now they do have a decent amount of units left, and they're going to start to regroup as we get ready to regroup our lords. And they look like they're bringing in their Chaos Warriors with great weapons over this way, and we decide rather than charging at those Chaos Lord with great weapons, we are going to just book it here. Hellcannon shots coming in, hammering his own Chaos Warriors, doing so much damage to them. And we're just trying to pull over and kill these Hellcannons while we still can. Chaos Warriors still chasing us here. Some huge shots from the Hellcannon. Not really hitting much, and they decide they're going to pull out and regroup as we are charging after the Hellcannons. More Hellcannon shots coming off. We do indeed have a bit of our crew here, or a Goblobber crew. But now the Chaos Warriors are coming to tear into them, as they try and get one desperate last shot off, which they do indeed get. Going to actually hit the dragon there. It's pretty good. But they are now routing. Chaos Warriors just swarming over them. Looks like they're going to pull out the rest of their Chaos Warriors, and we have all our lords over on these Hellcannons. Just mowing down this crew here. That's what we're trying to do anyways. Got Runesmith in here just knocking him over the head with his hammer. We just need to bring down these Hellcannons. There goes one Hellcannon. Excuse me. Grombrindle over here. And we start to move away, but we forget that this Hellcannon isn't actually dead, and we're going to start to pull back soon. They're still trying to hit my leader since he's almost dead. Don't know why they're pulling him in. Rune of Wrath and Rune over here going to just finish off, drop Chaos Warriors left and right here. And they start to rout. So then we decide, alright, rather than just charging in, we're just going to consolidate. We're going to finish killing this Hellcannon. We're going to consolidate our forces. So we can see Grombrindle and Runesmith still moving over. They are going to come back and join us soon. Really our only hope here, since all we have left are our lords, is just to form up with all our lords and just try and brace for the enemy charge. You can see they are massing. Their hell cannons are out of ammo, so they're going to be bringing their hell cannon crews in as well. Unbreakable, going to help them a little bit, but they aren't going to do much damage. So, you can see now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get from tired to fresh so that we can be ready for the fight ahead. We rest up here, wait for chaos to mass up, and wait for the final battle. Now, one thing you will notice is the Goblobber crew will actually get back into action, I believe. Yeah, they start to waver, and they situate themselves. They're wavering. They aren't back on the artillery yet, which they will be soon, as far as I'm aware. Yep. They notice that the crew is back, though, and they start to bring their Chaos Warriors up. At this point, we were just like, come on, one shot, one shot, as the Chaos Warriors storm up the hill towards them. The Chaos Lord is coming in. We're like, come on, reel it back, fire! And we do get a shot. We were like, yeah, and then it hits like 2 guys, and we're like, oh. And then Chaos Lord comes in, just routs them all. And that's going to be the end of that unit as they are in full retreat. And it looks like there's 2 left. This guy probably won't survive. Or no, Dragon's going to chase, it looks like. Just mucking that unit there. He's still alive, it looks like. Does take off, leave these 2 to run. And here comes the final engagement. Chaos Warriors mass for this final charge. They do have some high health units. Hell Cannon crew coming out here. Our units still resting. It looks like Thorgrim is fresh. Runesmith is still very tired. The rest of our units, though, are looking fresh and active and ready to fight. So we start to move our units forward here. We're going to hope to get a good charge bonus in here and just tear into the front of their line. So here we go, guys. The final part of this battle. It's been a close one. Very rough start for us. You can see just bodies littering the field. And it's just down to our lords and heroes. The 2 forces mass and prepare to charge into each other. As we go into slow motion, we see Runesmith leading the charge with Grombrindle at his side. Thorgrim coming in not far behind. We got Belegar, Runesmith rearing axes back. Grombrindle just chopping into them, downing like 4 or 5. Belegar charging in here. Thorgrim bringing down a mighty smash here. Going to down 3 more. And we get a huge tear into their front line of Chaos Marauders, who are getting the leadership buff from Stand or Die. That is right. Stand or Die. This is the final battle. Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Still 54 of them left. Charging into the fight here. Charging right after. We pop all our buffs. We got Foe Seeker, Mighty Oath Stone, Stand Your Ground, Rune of Negation, Rune of Oath and Steel, everything being popped. Rune of Wrath and Rune will be popped soon as well. Chaos Lord's just looking over the fight. He's at half health. Decent amount. But he's going to need to charge in here if he has any hope of bringing us down. You can see my leader is very close to dead. He's probably going to be taken out in not too long. Just resting on his throne there. Getting ready to get another swing in here. As he brings a mighty smash down from his throne, knocking back quite a few of them and killing quite a few more. See, all our buffs still going here. But their leader, they are not wavering. A Stand or Die has definitely been popped. We see Runesmith coming down, knocking one back and finishing him off. We're going to need to kill more than one in a swing, though, if we want to win this. Thorgrim losing a lot of health. He is just dropping as more and more swings just pour into him. He does another hammer blow there. We can see all of Chaos's forces are just pouring in here. His kills are getting higher and higher. And as Chaos pours in, we're here for this final battle. See, they're all just slicing in there. Thorgrim bringing him down. He's slowly dropping. I do have my Runesmith flees from the fight. Not good for us. Thorgrim just charging forward. Another Chaos charge from the back. Chaos Lord leaping in here onto Thorgrim. Thorgrim at 155, and Thorgrim falls. We lose a Lord. Chaos wavering in the Chaos line. My Runesmith is running. Thorgrim is dead. It's down to Belegar, a Runesmith, and Grombrindle. Mass wavering in the Chaos line as they start to target the Chaos Lord, who's running for his life here. And they are just holding their ground, standing or dying. Flash Bomb is popped on these Chaos Warriors. Definitely going to do a great job of allowing our heroes to just cut through them. Belegar Iron Hammer dropping under half health. Grombrindle still fairly high, and we do have our Runesmith here, who's a little bit over half. More of our chops coming in here. Very, very, very close. Chaos Lord's going to need to just hop back in, but he is wavering. Leadership is dropping, as it looks like we are going to have a mass rout on the Chaos lines. Or that's at least what we're hoping for. Another Chaos charge here, as Chaos Warriors with great weapons charge in. Our leaders are just leaping through everything. Belegar is starting to fall. Grombrindle's still at very high health. And we will see the Runesmith dropping a little bit. But now there's a mass rout on the Chaos lines. The white flags come up. Chosen, Aspiring Champions, and Chaos Warriors with great weapons are all fleeing. The Lord flees, and this looks like it's going to be it. Just the Unbreakable Hell Cannon crew left. I see Belegar giving a little cheer there. He just nails that guy, sends him flying. Warjobsnir leaps in. Looks like all we have is the Hell Cannon crew remaining. These Chaos Dwarves, disgrace to the Dawi race. I have my only unit I have left in the field is the Runesmith, who is routing. Leadership not getting any higher. And it's just down to the last few. The last Chaos Dwarf is brought down. And the Dwarves somehow managed to pull out the victory. A very Pyrrhic victory indeed. Just down to the two Runesmiths, one of them fleeing. Grombrindle and Belegar, as we survey this battlefield of just destruction in chaos. So many dead dwarves and chaos marauders. Catapults still here, the catapult crew lying dead. Hell cannons abandoned after they ran out of ammo. This was definitely a bloody battle, and one that the Dawi will not soon forget. So now, as we go in here, we see it is Mr. Lucky, Goldfish, and Nick on the Chaos team, and myself, Hound, and Conlau on the Dwarf team. I did have a lot of units remaining because I had a lot deployed, but a lot of them ran away. As you can see, Thorgrim went down. Didn't have a lot of kills across the board because they were just holding the line. Unfortunately, I can't view what they had. But somehow, in the end, we pulled through. You can see their Hell Cannons did absolute work to us. Definitely, we did not expect that, whereas we probably should have. And that really just kind of made the battle a really uphill battle for us, even though we were on the top of the hill. It was definitely a very uphill battle for our team, and we managed to pull it out in the end. One of the closest battles I've ever seen. There will be some more very close ones coming at you soon, especially a 1v1, which you should look out for. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and really enjoyed this huge and epic battle that the Dawi will not soon forget. Cheers, guys.